Hey, what's going on there?
What's going on, dude? How's my mic volume?
Your mic volume's still extremely high.
Is it really?
All right. Yes, but it's fine, Michael.
Okay, Jimothy.
Jimothy? Is that what you call me?
Yeah, I did.
It's not even the correct.
I know.
We'll start off with my bunker co-host, Mr. Jimmy Shaka.
What's up?
What's up, Jim? Did you change your background?
I did. This is just like soundproofing. I made a little soundproofing kind of cone. I'm in the cone of silence.
Interesting.
Yeah. You like the other better? I could always do the other thing.
No. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. Yeah. You look very like spaceshipy.
Yes, that's it. I'm in the spaceship. One of these days.
It looks Star Trek. Like, let's check in with Jimmy Shaka. Yeah.
Captain.
Yes. Right out of the gate. Now I'm gonna hit on both sides of my alarming. I hate using the word politics, but I'll say mainstream. Like there's something very concerning to me with something that's all going on now that's starting to. It's starting to heighten my awareness in not a very good way. We'll just say that. But then I go back and forth of, all right, maybe this is, quote, the movie, which I truly believe we all are a part of, no matter what anyone says. And I'll start with, if you hate, if you're still, there's so many, not a lot, but there's still people very, very committed to their team, whether it's political or ideologies or whatever it is. Like, let's just say you define yourself as Democrat or I hate Donald Trump. Fine. Can you please just be open-minded? And when I play you this clip, tell me if there was no such thing as Republican, no such thing as anything. Let's say they're all talking about not even politics. Let's say they're talking about meatballs. They can't stand that this restaurant loves meatballs and this restaurant loves chicken parmesan. And you always, I'm with the chicken parmesan restaurant. Well, I'm with the meatball. And I'll tell you why the meatball restaurant's better. It doesn't matter. But you cannot ignore that no matter what, they're paid to say the same thing. Can you please show the very last clip? Do you have time to please? Now, this is so funny to me. It's so funny. And the more you see these things, you realize why they want to ban TikTok, why they want to ban, and they try so hard for you to not look at social media. They're all reading the same script in the same way. It's belly laughing funny. This is right before the whatever that
the State of the Union,
whatever you want to call it. Let's say we're not even going to say Trump, but we're going to say when Charlie had to talk, when some guy Charlie had to talk.
Well, this is before the tasting contest.
This is before the tasting. So before this is correct, Shaka. The tasting of the menu, before you even get to taste the menu, watch what all these meatballs, they're not even meatballs, they're not on Team Meatball, they're on Team Chicken Parmesan. Watch what they all read the same thing. Play this clip.
That ain't true.
That's what you just heard.
Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are up, not down. Inflation is getting worse, not better. Prices of groceries, gas, housing, and yes, eggs. He's letting Elon Musk take a chainsaw, giving them access to Americans' most sensitive data. Your social security numbers, tax returns, thousands.
You get the gist.
There was more though. There was like 30 of them. I don't know if you saw the big screen.
Yes. 30 of them, from Chuck Schumer to all of them.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you still keep yourself emotionally attached when you see something like that? Like, do you not see how goofy that is and how blatant? It's blatant lying. No one has their own thought. It's no different than I come out and like, you got to read the script. My competitor is a pizza. He says that his pizza's good, but it's not. And he says he used red sauce, but it's actually pesto. And they're all reading, and all your same restaurants are reading the same exact thing. It's all driven, but I'm like, how do you see that and go, yeah, that's my team? How do you?
Right.
It's so mind-boggling to me.
Did you see the fight video where they're all going like this? All the Democrats, they're like, pick your fighter, and they're all like the Democrat women, like pretending they're punching in the screen.
Choose your character.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. See, that it makes me. Do you remember a while ago? This was like COVID, before COVID. You were trying to explain to me white hats.
Right.
Explain to anyone listening that has no clue or whatever. And the reason why I bring this up is I'm starting to believe that it really is good guys, bad guys, and the good guys had to gain control of the visual psyops that everyone lives through, meaning if you're just an outsider and you have no political affiliation, if you're just watching a show and Freddie goes, hey, you know what? And whether Freddie's full of shit or not doesn't matter. Everyone's full of shit. Freddie goes, hey, there's a little boy here. And the little boy had cancer. He's been fighting his whole life, and he just wanted to be a cop or whatever you want to be. And you know what? You're part of the team now, and we love you, man. You had a tough struggle. How do you look at that and say, well, I hope that kid doesn't kill themselves, or I hope that kid
or like let's give little Johnny a round of applause. This kid's been through all of this. He's had brain surgery. He just wanted to be a cop. We're making him an honorary cop. Let's give him a round of applause. And they fold their arm. No.
So and this is where I'm like, this can't be real. And there's people that actually will try to defend that. And I'm sorry, if you try to defend yourself, you have crossed a humanization part of your mind where you scream and yell at the other side's brainwashing a cult, you just became a very dark cult. Because let's just say not one person's decided to go, you know what? I'm not going to let this child take the blunt of my hatred towards Freddie.
Charlie, who's speaking, right? Charlie said, let's give him a round of applause. I don't like Charlie. Yeah.
Can you imagine if they all stood up and looked at the kid, applauded him, shook his hand, and then sat back down, and then afterwards, like, I know a lot of people that children have cancer. I love that child gives hope to so many other children, gives hope to so many other families. Not one of them, not one, came out to say something like that. They all just went after Charlie. And that, I'm sorry, but the only way I see that is you've hit the deranged world now. You're in the derangement world that you can't see the humanization of you. And it was so obvious that I'm really starting to believe this is a movie and it's to train everyone on the other side slowly. Because you can't tell me you watch that and no matter how much you hate the guy talking or you hate what's been painted as the quote party. I'm not a political party guy. Never will be. I will never join a group. I never have joined a group. But you can't tell me as a common sense human being, you're able to watch that and then go, yeah, no, I agree with absolutely no emotions for that child. That is, I'm sorry, but I think you need help. And I don't know what that is. That's insane. And go ahead.
Well, it's actually putting the two things together. That video of everybody reading the script, right? So
Correct.
They got the script to fold their arms and sit down. None of them think for themselves. None of them. All right. Well, they think about themselves, and that's the only reason they're there is because they're getting a lot of money from these things that Trump is shutting down. Charlie is shutting down. You know,
even all that. Let's say it has nothing to do with that. You can't even bring any of that up
at that moment. Yeah.
You expose your humanity and how much you're driven by hate, pure, cold-blooded hate. No, not even the kid. Nope. That's disturbing, man. And then I go, this can't be real. This has to be a movie. And the movie is the good guys are in control. I'm going to say they're either dead or they're actors. They're all actors. And the other side is trying to show everyone how this is.
Yeah. This is what we've been dealing with.
This is the cold-blooded, disturbing, non-thinking humans that have been in control in your life for so long. And are you starting to see it? Are you starting to understand? Now, am I saying the other side's better? No way. No way. My issue with the other side is you can tell me all the money that's been spent on the most ridiculous things. I think the entire country agrees. I have diehard lefty, I'll label them as crazy. And I try to talk to him on ledge. I'm like, will you please stop watching the news? Will you stop absorbing that much politics? You know, I have two very close individuals in my life, and I go, think of how much of our conversation and think of how much of your conversation is consumed by hating the other person.
Right.
Now, let me ask you something. Did anyone from that political party come and feed your kids today? Did any of them cut your hair? Did any of them do your lawn? Did any of them go with you to go see your grandchildren today and talk about helping your daughter-in-law who has cancer? Did any of them do that?
You know, or the fires in South Carolina. We'll get into that.
We'll get into all that. So it's like, I saw that Dolores, what was her name? Dolores, an older lady. Oh, Dolores. I saw this video of this lady, Dolores. It was so groundbreaking for me. She basically said, when you understand while we're on Earth, your experience here is learning how to harvest energy. And when you honestly tap into the thought that government, politics, all entertainment, everything's meant to harvest your energy and attention of you. So when I have this conversation, how much of your energy have you spent hating a political party or hating an individual and how much of the day do you talk about it and consume it? And the people that do instantly go in denial. No, I don't even like, well, trust me, it's not as much as you think. And then 5 minutes later, they're back at it.
Right.
That is you, as much as you want to point fingers and say these people are this, and you are completely manipulated. And your energy is controlled. Your emotions are controlled. Now,
You're talking about Dolores Cannon?
Dolores Cannon. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I highly suggest people check her out.
Fascinating. All right. Now, let me tell you the story about Dolores Cannon. Just very quickly. What she did is she became a hypnotherapist. All right. And she did like the standard methods of hypnotherapy. And then she's like, well, let me just try doing it. I'm just going to do it like my way. Right. And she would wind up getting these people so deep, right, that they could go back to anything. They're like, I could go back to, when I was born. I could go back before I was born. I could see, supposedly everything is connected. All right.
Right.
My favorite expression is there's only one of us here. I love that expression. In other words, behind our eyes, behind the witness that's way back behind everything, witnessing this all, there's only, that's the one. All right. And where that one is looking through all our eyes. All right. So it's all connected. And science will say there's no such thing as time and space. It's just an experience we're having, like a hologram.
Yeah.
So with all that going on, everything you need is within you if you can access it. 100% true. All right. Even if you want to change the outside hologram, you can do it by going within. So with that, she would just get these people to go so deep, right, that they were literally becoming the voice of their higher self, not their like just little avatar body on this world. So then she would just ask questions like about anything, like, well, was Jesus a real person? Are there aliens? Where did life on Earth come from? And she just started asking all these questions that we would love to ask the ultimate, the ultimate.
Yes.
And that's her. And she has these books called The Convoluted Universe, and a bunch of other books. She wrote dozens of books, and they are all so fascinating. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really bad at reading. I always start but I bet
No,
you.
listen to it. Just put on headphones. Get them to
Oh.
you can make your phone read a book to you. You know, yeah, that's what I do, because then wherever I'm going, if I'm doing the lawn, I'm listening to a book. It's like I'm reading a book. As I'm falling asleep, I'm reading a book.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, Dolores, what's her last name?
Cannon.
Cannon.
Cannon, I think.
She's passed on, right?
She passed not long ago, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, and she taught me so much about controlling and harvesting energy, and to be aware when everything else is trying to grab your energy and hold it captive. And that's what this big show is. Now now listen. I have friends that are they'll say I'm MAGA. I'm full-blown MAGA. And what's wrong with America being great? I get all that. Here's my little concern. If you're going to say, which I believe, all the money that's been spent on nonsense, I mean, it's totally revealed. They're going to have to, you can't say what they're saying and not be able to back it up. I would assume there'd be lawsuits involved. I can't say, hey, we spent $40 billion on transitioning monkeys in Colombia or whatever it is, which when you do hear these things, you're limiting your thought process if you don't realize this money's been funneled. And it's really listen, I discovered foundations when I started doing television, and I was so turned off and disgusted, and I realized, now wait a minute, if this is a fundraiser, the fundraiser alone has cost this group $250,000.
Yes.
How much money are they walking away? And look at all these incredible things they have for this foundation. So, and when you understand, I learned it from that guy Josh who came on here about putting money into trust. A trust is almost like a foundation where, hey, it's a foundation. We don't really get taxed for it. So once you discover, hey, let's send money to Ukraine, which you do have people out of their minds going, we need to send weapons. Stop that. Unless you're willing to send yourself or your child to be sacrificed, you have no talk in the game. You don't get to involve yourself by saying we need to support this country, especially if you've never been there and you have absolutely zero to do it. If you're going to go, well, the fear mongering, the point that you're willing to put lives in danger is beyond maddening. It's beyond insane. So, however, when they say we spent X amount of dollars on doing this and this, we, the American people, I guess I'm speaking for everyone, I don't care. How much am I getting back? Because you took my money.
Mm-hmm.
You took my neighbor's money, and my neighbor, it doesn't matter who they voted for or who I voted for or who black people voted for or who young people voted. You took our money. Now, if you're going to say you found it all, I don't want to hear I'm getting a $5,000 check. I want to hear I'm never paying taxes again because that's how much money you recovered. And until these moves start being made, to me, you're starting to prove you really are just a professional wrestling show and you're all in on it. So, yes, you're tapping into the emotions of people like myself that would like to, hey, yes, this side has been stealing money. Everyone's been stealing money. Well, now that you found it, do we all get checks? All the six-figure tax money that I've had to pay in my lifetime, do I get half of it back? Otherwise, you can throw out all the numbers you want. So we get, and maybe they're in a stage where they're first prepping you, because I will say there's people on the left that I know going, listen, I'm all for finding that we've been overspending, but so they are waking up, but they're still in the hate mode. I still hate him now. They're still blinded by the hate.
There's a lot of people crossing over, though. A lot. I'm seeing it every day.
Me too.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Me too. And that's what I'm wondering too. Is this just a movie to slowly wake up all the people that have been so engaged in dedicating their lives to a political party or hating another political party or opponent? And the only way to decipher that hate is to wake everybody up slowly at a time. Now, again, the money, I'm getting, but I want to start hearing in 6 months, we're going to start sending back money to people.
I want to play this for you real quick.
Go ahead.
It's like so obvious. The SpaceX lawsuit, the Trump stuff, it's so obvious.
Yes. Like known Epstein clients who are obviously extremely powerful, they're powerful politically and very wealthy, are, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and Reid Hoffman. And some others too, but those three. So, why was Reid Hoffman so intent on destroying Trump?
Do you think it's because they're worried about the list coming out?
Yeah, one of the reasons.
Dude, definitely. It is fascinating. That's another thing. I forgot about Bill Gates. I saw Bill Gates on there. Dude, I saw some fellow comedians and people that I've worked with. Or I'm like, what? Because the thing about Epstein's list, it's so specific. It's so specific. It's not like this big, wide range of. It's like Kathy Griffin, Will Smith, Will Ferrell. Again, I don't know if it's true or not. The lead singer of Aerosmith, Adam Schiff, Chuck Schumer. Trying to think, who's on The View? Whoopi Goldberg. You start going, please, God, please tell me this isn't true. Please, God, please, no. Oh, shit. And then you see weird videos and pictures of events where it's like the spirit cooking and it's like fake dead people that they're eating and they're all wearing lab coats. I saw that stuff and I saw like Will Ferrell at one of them and I was like, I pray to God it ain't true. I pray to God it ain't true. But I said this before, if my name was on there, Colbert is on there. The other late night banana. What's his name? Kimmel's on there. And it's like, none of them mention it. None of them mention. Jim Carrey's on there. If I was accused of that, dude, I'd be losing my shit. Alec Baldwin's on there. I'd be losing my shit. How dare I'd be suing everybody that put my Oprah Winfield's on there. Tom Hanks is on there. I don't know if it's true or not, but I remember seeing all this and I was like, what? So I don't know. Maybe they're prepping us to be prepared to be devastated. I don't know. But Jimbo, what were you going to say? Yeah, we're back. We came
Robert,
back.
Yeah, I sent you a clip, Mike. Robert Bossie is the Australian guy.
Ah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pull that video up?
Oh, yeah, just to see his face and see if that's the guy that Jim was talking about.
This the guy,
This
Jim?
guy. Yes. So they started again, I don't know, it's social media. They started putting Muammar Gaddafi's face next to this guy.
Yeah.
And you've seen the things where you're like, this one faked their death and this one faked their death. And they were all part of this madness. And they went into witness protection to exploit it all because they knew they were going to be killed or whatever. There's that rumor is also about Bernie Mac.
And Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, all of it, where they're
Elvis.
like, hey, man, Elvis, where supposedly Kobe Bryant.
Jr., JFK Jr.
JFK Jr., they all figured this out and had to pretend they died so they can exploit and start working to exploit all this.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? And, another point I wanted to make before was that what's different about this administration is a lot of the problems that we're seeing here is the corruption with money, right? And so they bring in a couple of guys, or we have now a couple of guys that don't need the money. Trump, I don't need the money. I don't need the gig. Huh? And Musk. Look at Musk. Neither one of them need the money. So it's like they're uncorruptible as far as money goes. You couldn't pay them enough to corrupt them, from whatever they actually are. I'm not saying they're angels, but you couldn't pay them to change who they are, which is the problem in government, right? You could pay them to change who they said they were.
Correct. And I got to be honest with you, I don't even think that's the real Elon Musk. I'm just being honest. I really do think everyone's an actor. I think something happened to the real Elon Musk. He looks completely different than he used to. But whoever I'll call this character, Elon Musk, I like seeing him. I like seeing him on Joe Rogan. I like seeing him in the White House just wearing regular clothes. I'm so tired of falling for the fake salesman.
Yep.
I'm done with the fake salesman. And I did enjoy watching the president say names. I think it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
You say what? You broke up.
Of course, Pocahontas wants to. Would anyone else like to see us paying them for 5 more years? And he goes, of course, Pocahontas would. Bro. I'm sorry. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny.
You know who else I like?
I like a comedian telling you that's funny.
Yes. And he's very funny.
So funny.
Yeah. He's also a Gemini, by the way.
And again, even if they're all characters and they're all characters playing a role, I enjoy these characters. I really do.
I also Putin. I love the new Putin because if you look
Putin, the old go ahead, finish.
Yeah, the old Putin was like evil. I mean, you looked in that guy's eyes. Chill.
And that's what makes me wonder. Is it all said and done, and we're just rolling out the film now to prep the world? Because the old Putin looks nothing like this Putin. It's like looking at 2 Dave Chappelles. It's
which is another story. Which could be another story there.
Wait a minute. This Putin had a thin face, and it's just like you said. He had he had.
Yeah.
You got a bad feeling when you saw this human being. You got a bad feeling. This new Putin, the fat head and his eyes are squinty. You're like,
Yeah. But yeah, you know, I'm also I went on a little deep dive the other day, just trying to explore, was Chappelle also like I don't know. Did someone else come back from Africa? Remember when he left for Africa all those years ago?
no, I think when he came back, he went on Oprah, and that. I know that when I watched Dave Chappelle on Oprah when he came back,
Yeah.
that was Dave. That was definitely Dave Chappelle,
Okay.
without a doubt. I heard this like, did he really come back? No, that was him.
Okay. I take your word
100%.
because I know you know him.
100%. That was
Yeah.
without a doubt. The last time I really saw what I felt was my experience with him was him telling me he was visited. And he told me exactly who visited him. And he was freaked out.
Put the message across. Yeah.
They got the message across, and then he took off to Africa.
Right.
And I saw him at the Aspen Comedy Festival, probably right before we started the radio show. And I remember the horror and the sheer fear and trauma in his face like I've never seen in my life before. And I'm not claiming we were the greatest and knew each other that well, but I feel like I knew him pretty well. And I was afraid to talk about that for a long time because I thought I was afraid to put that out there. But now that more things are coming out, and one of the people that he mentioned has been in prison and out. The other one you haven't seen for a while, but they're all very big names that showed up. Now, again, I'm just going on a story. It could have been whatever, but I know for a fact that's what I was told. And it ain't up for me to discuss that any further.
Yeah.
Because that's all I know. But I was for a very long time and continue to be very concerned for his soul. Because that was the Dave I used to hang out and talk to. I'm not saying this Dave isn't. I loved that human being. And he was an incredible, deep spiritual, very smart human being. And so,
I remember going with you. I mean, we were young. I think you had just moved back to New York and I was still in Florida. All right. And you were just making your rounds, like doing comedy, and you got, and you had to do, it was like a private party comedy thing or something. And Dave was there, and you're like, Jimbo, this kid is you gotta watch this kid. He's so funny. I love this guy. And he was maybe 19 years old at the time.
He was a child. Right? He really was.
Yeah. And you're like, this guy is so good. He's going somewhere. Right. And he literally was, that's how unknown he was, Yeah.
Nobody knew he was. And there was, he tried to get me to do street performances with him too. He's like, Jim, come do it. Because he looked up to this other comedian, Charlie, I'll have to get his name. The poor guy died, I think, of AIDS anyway, it doesn't matter. So I don't know. That's all I know. I saw.
So are we, so the moral of the story is maybe we're watching a movie,
Correct. Maybe we're watching a movie after watching the videos and all that. Maybe, but maybe we'll see. I guess we'll see. In the meantime, we just got to keep going about our day and doing what we can.
we are moving into the age of openness, of where the truth is coming out. It's think of it like a universal. It's like a sunrise. Okay, here we were in the dark about all this stuff. And, you know, when they say nothing can stop what's coming, yeah, it's a sunrise. You can't stop that sun from rising. And they can't push it back down. You know, it's literally coming out. And yeah, we're moving we're moving away from the age of power, right? Where we're just the power over this one, power over that one. All right, we've explored that to the end. We built the ultimate bomb and ultimate weapon and all that stuff. And now humanity is moving on to ethical concerns, things of right and wrong, and awareness of the right and wrong. And it's kind of it's painful and a lot, you know.
Yeah. Mike's, can you play that video I just sent?
We have it all. All of the illicit wealth in the world has been tracked by the National Security Agency for the past 15 years. We now know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Wall Street has stolen $100 trillion from Main Street with naked short selling. We also know that Wall Street has laundered $100 trillion in dirty money from trafficking in children and women and drugs and guns and gold. I can never tire of saying that 90% of the people in the U.S. government, the U.S. military, the U.S. intelligence community are good people trapped in a bad system. The secret intelligence community serves the deep state. It does not serve the American public. And CIA in particular has been doing torture, rendition and torture, drone assassination, regime change, helping to start wars based on lies, all because war and trafficking in humans and drugs and so forth are a profit center for Wall Street and the deep state. And once the president gets Benny into NSA and processes 100% of what we have at NSA, we have every single one of you by the balls. You cannot survive this. You have one out. The Truth and Reconciliation out is make the deal, motherfucker, or you are going to die.
That, when you think of some of the worldwide situations, that video gives me a little bit of hope. That we are watching the takedown of some of the purest, most evil human beings, and we're watching a movie. And I don't know who all the good guys are. I really don't. I have no clue. But that's pretty profound. And that seemed like it was a done deal. It's already in the works and has been in the works. Anyway, all right, man, this is a good one. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, fun.
It's always great seeing you, and we'll connect. We'll connect soon.
All right, sounds
Thanks
good.
for joining today. Have a good one, Jimbo. Where does everyone find you? They find you on Rumble.
Mostly Telegram. The World According to Shaka, Shaka, and on Rumble, The World According to Shaka. I don't post on Rumble as much as I should, but I'm going to try to start hitting it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I'm on Telegram all the time. I anything I find interesting, I post there. If I have an interesting thought, I just jot it down on the little group there. And there's a group chat, and it's all fun.
Yeah. All right, hombre, you have a good one.
All right, man. Good seeing you. Peace
Good
out.
seeing you too. Jimmy Shaka. All right. So, yes, that's our rendition of the bunker today. The bunker, you can call them whatever you want. Theories, whatever you want to say. There's nothing wrong with having conversations. There's no accusations. They're just questions, and they're very legit questions. Well, hopefully, unity is on the way for all people. Time will tell But I'm begging you to stop getting caught up in the madness and ask questions. If we're going to work and we're going to go out there and do everything we can to make money, I don't want my money or your money being sent anywhere else but back in my pocket and your pocket. Wouldn't that be a nice protest one day? Wouldn't that be a nice march? And then you start to realize how goofy all these little organizations and groups are. It's all just to keep you spinning. It's all just to keep you energy in a different direction. And it keeps you from what is right for all of us. Be kind to one another. We'll see you next week on the Breuniverse. Thanks for hanging out in the bunker.
Take a look around and what do you see? Lock the day down tonight, we'll make it history.
So I'm working on a thing called gene therapy, which is my good friend Gene. And if you have an issue and you want Gene to give you his way of therapy, gene therapy, send in your voicemail. Just go to jimbreuer.com, and then we know if you made it that far, you really wanted to hear some therapy. Should be good. We'll let you know when we're ready to roll with that. Gene therapy, send in your concerns or where you need help.
Keep the show rolling. Don't let me know that something's bad, because I pick up on that right away. Oh no, we're going down, and it'll look good.